Hello, and welcome to the Blogging Pod. In today's news and behind backdoor deals and undisclosed lists, here's what we know as of today. The Department of Justice has confirmed that Maxwell, currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, is speaking with investigators under limited immunity. While she hasn't received any guaranteed deal or release, the fact that she's been interviewed over multiple days by the DOJ officials has sparked renewed attention to the Epstein case. Congress is planning a formal deposition with Maxwell later this year. But here's the question: does any of it really matter if the DOJ is already cutting back channel arrangements? What's the point of a public deposition if she's already spoken to federal prosecutors under legal protection? Victim advocates have raised concerns that any cooperation she gives might be strategic and incomplete, especially since she's asking for a full pardon to speak publicly. And even though the so-called Epstein client list still circulates online as if it's a secret file waiting to be cracked open, the DOJ maintains there's no such list with credible blackmail evidence and no further investigation is planned. Meanwhile, in a different kind of secrecy, the Justice Department has also given the green light to begin construction on the Crow Creek natural gas pipeline cutting straight through public forest land between Idaho and Wyoming. This pipeline, backed by the American Energy Infrastructure Plan, is moving ahead despite ongoing lawsuits from the environmental groups who argue the project bypasses critical conservation protections. The pipeline will cross nearly 18 miles of the Caribou-Targ National Forest, including fragile wildlife habitats, inventoried roadless areas. Even with concerns about grizzly bear territory, soil disruption, water contamination, and the threat to native plant species, the DOJ is moving forward, ruling that the environmental harm wasn't urgent enough to justify stopping construction. And while the public might have believed that federal land giveaways were off the table after earlier backlash, this move shows a different approach. Don't sell the land, just lease it out indefinitely for energy projects. The result is the same. Public access gets locked out while industry gains permanent footholds in places that were once protected. And if all that wasn't enough, let's not forget what quietly slid through the House after it announced a sudden shutdown. Conveniently timed before discussions on the Epstein case were set to begin. Hours later, the House Republicans reconvened and introduced the Modern Worker Empowerment Act, a bill that on the surface sounds like it gives flexibility to the American workers. But in reality, it's a sweeping change that lets companies label their employees as independent contractors. This means workers can be denied basic benefits: no health insurance, no paid sick leave, no unemployment coverage, and no right to unionize. It's a move that guts labor protections and opens the door for corporations to lower the cost by shifting everything onto the workers. And let's not forget the great big beautiful bill, which already proposed gutting Medicaid support and pushing insurance premiums even higher in the coming years. Now, with this new legislation, companies won't even be required to provide health coverage for full-time workers. Insurance costs go through the roof, and the safety net is cut from both ends, first from the government and now from the employers. In just one day's news, we've seen a convicted sex trafficker quietly re-enter negotiations with the government, a public forest handed over to pipeline construction without pause, and the bill that threatens to dismantle what's left of worker protection. If this is the direction we're heading, then it's not just who's behind the curtain we need to worry about. It's how many doors are being quietly unlocked while the public is distracted. Today's podcast sources come from the Justice Department blog on the Crow Creek pipeline, Yahoo News coverage of the federal court ruling, the Washington Post's analysis of Maxwell's limited cooperation, AB7 News on her congressional testimony requests, House Committee press release on the Modern Worker Empowerment Act. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.